Pete Alonso has finally ended the conversation with the New York Mets and re-signed on a 2-year, $54 million deal, 1 year for $30 million, and then an opt-out. So who knows? We might be in this exact same position exactly at this point a year from now, but it doesn't matter because for the 2025 Mets, their first baseman is Mr. Pete Alonso.
My first impression of the Pete signing, thank goodness for the New York Mets. Just for this year's team, they needed him more than a lot of us were willing to admit. This lineup is so much better with him slotted right in the heart of it. It takes so much pressure off of so many guys. Vientos doesn't have to be a cleanup hitter, that style. Nimmo doesn't have to bat fourth, but this makes this year's team so much better.
The valuation of Pete Alonso from the New York Mets, I think, was a lot higher than 29 other teams. And that's exactly why we found ourselves in this debacle of the sentimental value, but also just needing something around Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor for this year. The Mets have guys in the pipeline that they believe in. They believe in Ryan Clifford, who is a first baseman. They have internal options that they believe can provide offense to this team. But none of those guys are quite ready yet. None of those guys have quite the experience yet for the Mets to completely walk away from someone who they know what his capabilities are. They know that Pete Alonso is a 30 home run bat. They know that he can hit in the middle of the lineup. They know that he can play with the pressure of New York, and they know that he loves being a Met. So those four factors were incredibly important, and I think that when you weigh those things, it was always going to be Pete Alonso and the Mets. And I think, you had to spin it and rationalize the possibility of him leaving. But you're absolutely right that the Mets needed Pete Alonso, especially for this year, especially when all those other options flew off the board and it really became Pete Alonso, or you're going to have to solve your first baseman problem internally. So it's a very happy reunion